Hi folks, Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. I'm joined today by my good friend Seth David. Seth, how you doing, bud? Seth is from Nerd Enterprises. NerdEnterprises.com, or is it?
It's NerdEnterprises.com, that's correct.
NerdEnterprises.com, and he does a lot of really cool accounting videos. Well, give us a brief on what you do, Seth.
Well, you know what? I might as well just plug the newest development, which is that I completed my first full-length online bookkeeping course.
Cool.
And people can get there by going to schoolofbookkeeping.com. And it's video-based. Of course, there's text. It's what I call a book in a blog.
Cool.
So they can go in there and they can register, sign up, and take the course at their own pace and learn how to use QuickBooks and learn the bookkeeping fundamentals by watching videos and reading and looking at screenshots and all that sort of thing.
Cool. Where are you on Twitter so people can find you?
At Nerd Enterprises.
At Nerd Enterprises. I've got to love that branding. So anyway, what we're looking at today, this is Sean Parker and also the gentleman, I forget his name, who helped start Napster. This is their latest venture called Airtime. You can find it at airtime.com. And so Seth has helped me review it so that we can show off some of the features and how it works. It's basically a one-on-one caller. Now, if you're familiar with chat roulette, some of the experiences that went on with that, it's the basis of what chat, or the full part of what chat roulette was, is kind of the basis for Airtime. Yet it's cleaned up. It uses your Facebook social graph. I haven't run into any explicit or porn photos yet that were so common that you would find on chat roulette. Because it's using Facebook and people are identified, and because also it's using your social graph and mirroring some things we'll show you in a second, you have a less propriety of finding people sitting around naked using it. At least that's been my experience so far, and most of the experience of some of the people I've talked to. It's been out for a couple days now. What's really great is it will anonymously pull users from Facebook, not just in your friend's thing, but your social graph. And it will pull them usually based on your interests and likes. So if you look down here below with both me and Seth, you can see that we have our likes here in the bottom. Now this will initially show up showing us as anonymous until we meet or one of us sends a friend request. So there is some protection if you want to have some protection there. But you can see the interests that I have. These are basically my likes on Facebook. And then I can see over here Seth David's likes. And I can see some of the things that he likes. Now when you first come into Airtime, you will normally see, especially if you're anonymous and you're not friends, you'll see a fly down of different things that you might like. And you'll see this right in the middle part. Now I'm going to like Nerd Enterprises, Seth David's fan page here. And you can see when I pull this up, I can hit an add button. Now I can also find other people in my social graph or in Facebook's social graph that like this if I click right here, this area that says find people who like this. So I'm going to hit the add button and we should see a thing pop up. See how this says you both like Nerd Enterprises? I've added Nerd Enterprises fan page, which is Seth David's fan page, to my like pages and my interests. By doing so, it shows me and him what are common interests that we might have. So what's really nice is when you first come into Airtime and you're meeting someone who's anonymous, it will play all the different likes and similar things you like. Favorite bands that you might like, favorite teams that you might like, different things that they think are similar. And in essence, they give you talking things, kind of like a good coffee table book. They give you conversation pieces to start from. It's really funny. I've been talking to people and they're like, oh, you like The Godfather. Oh, you like this band. I like that band. Oh, you like this. It even works if you don't have things in common. Like last night I was on with somebody who's a San Francisco 49ers fan. I'm a Raiders fan. We still, had common respect for each other and had a lot of fun. Looks like we both like Geddy Lee now. From what Seth's doing. So it's really cool, and you can see it highlights stuff that we're commonly attributed to that we both like. Looks like we might both like the movie Heat. We both like Anthony Robbins. You can see them highlighted here. So it's really cool where it shows your interests, and it's also using these interests, things that you've liked, to take and put you into a social graph or an algorithm where it will find people that are more similar to you. For example, last night I was getting a lot of tech people because I have a lot of tech. I've got Y Combinator, the Chris Voss Show, which is tech. I think I have a few other tech things in my interest if you go through them. So if you page down from there, you can also see that I can see the video history that I've posted to Facebook or videos I've watched if you have your social graph hooked into Facebook. I can also see videos that Seth has watched. Looks like Seth actually watched a video that I posted recently. I don't know if he was watching off my stream or he saw this off, when I called him originally off of airtime. But I can see his video history. I can add his videos to my video history by pressing this plus sign, by waving over the video. I can also watch a video. If me and Seth want to watch a video together, we can take and do that. So let's see here. We'll pull up this show that we can kind of watch. I'm not going to get into this for copyright reasons, but we'll play a few seconds of it, which should be fine. So we can watch a video together. We can talk about it. If possibly Seth wanted to give me instruction, like he wanted to say, hey Chris, I want to show you this training video on accounting that I made, and I want to show you how to do your QuickBooks, which is what he does. He could easily do that with me in this one-on-one format. So what's really nice is it doesn't have the chat roulette elements where it's bringing people that are completely anonymous and completely have the potential to, you might see them naked or maybe be inappropriate to you. What's even cool is Sean Parker and the Airtime team has made it so that you don't get a lot of room for error here. You get reported once or twice, and they evidently, from what they've said, is they will boot you out of the system. So there's a reporting button, I think, somewhere on here that I haven't seen. Now what's really cool, we can't see this because me and Seth are friends, but what you would normally see over here where it says end on the far right hand side, you would see like a follow button. I can't remember what it's called, but it will basically give you the option. I think it's add to or add button.
Hi, Seth David.
There you go. There you go, Seth.
Sorry, I was...
As long as it doesn't play music, because then YouTube gives me a real hard time about copyright. So you can see here we can share different things. We can have an experience back and forth together. And a lot of times when you first come in, if this is anonymous, you're not friends, you can just do, it'll show anonymous, and until you click the add button, which would normally be here, you can add people as friends. So you can add people as friends if you like your conversation with them. At that point, when you add them, they'll see your name, you'll see their name. So it's very built for privacy if you want to have it, if you just don't want to meet strangers on Facebook. Now, if you page down here below, further below, where we have below video, you'll see here that there's search on YouTube, and you'll see that there's achievements you can take and get, in essence, we're not seeing it right now. They may have disabled it because of what they're doing, or I'm not sure why. But over here in the very middle, there will be a little icon button with a little crown on it. It's very light. And what you would normally do is you would press that button, and you can press it repeatedly and give each other points. Now, me and Seth are friends on Facebook, so it probably doesn't have that feature, that or it may be turned off because it's a fairly new kind of in beta program. But normally you see this when you're cruising around. And so you can give each other points. I believe, this is my guesstimate from what I've seen so far, is when you're playing with Airtime anonymously, it will put you through to people that have high points. So this is also great in making sure that you don't end up seeing naked people on Facebook and have the chat roulette experience. So I'm very impressed with Airtime, but here's where it takes it to the next level, which is really cool. It acts basically as a Facebook phone. Okay, you may have tried the Facebook series where with Facebook, you could call people and leave a voicemail message, and it was kind of Skype integrated. Really awful program. Couldn't ever get it to work right. At least I couldn't, and none of my friends that I knew could. But what's really awesome is I can call people, like I called Seth last night, and if Seth doesn't answer on his Facebook, I can leave a message for him. He can listen to that message, and it's a video message, which is really cool, and then he can call me back. So I can literally go over here on the right. You can see here that I've got Seth typed in on the upper right hand corner where the search is. If I clear out Seth, it will pull in some of the other people that I have on my Facebook. Looks like it's going to take a couple seconds for us to work. It's still a system in beta. So you can see I have a bunch of my other friends that I could possibly dial and call. And very simply, I can just click over here on one of their lines, and looks like we're fighting with the computers here. I can click on their lines, and once I do that, I can call those people. What's really cool is I can switch back and forth between different people, and I can go back to, whoops, looks like I lost Seth. So we'll redial Seth. You can see here, talk to someone. It's playing me random, but we're going to try and call Seth back and see if we can't get him back on the line. Looks like it accidentally called through. Hey, Seth.
Hi.
Sorry about that. We were trying to show it, had some computer errors there, and I think we double-clicked and ended up calling somebody. What's even interesting is you saw there was a switch mechanism that came up where it works just like call waiting, where if Seth decides to call me while I'm talking to someone else, I can choose to switch between calls and be like, hey, Seth, I got to go. There's somebody else calling me. So it literally is like having a video phone that's tied into your Facebook. So I'm really impressed with it so far. I spent several hours on it last night. I talked to people who've been using it for the past couple days. They're really impressed with it. You can also see there's a chat section here on the bottom right where I can put up links. So if I want to put up, you know, a thing for Seth to look at or a link to look at, I can send that to him. If he wants to send me links on his website, in fact, Seth, if you want to put something in the chat there, maybe a link to your website, feel free to do so. So we can put up different conversations that we want to take and have. Now, unfortunately, it's still just one-on-one. You're not looking at a group thing like you would look with like a group conversation that you'd be looking at with Google Hangouts. That's pretty much it. Check it out. It's airtime.com. Any questions you have, Seth?
I do actually. Where are all the controls? Like I figured out how to add it, you know, to show a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to see where I might be able to, like you said, I can share a screen. How do I do a screen share?
There's no screen share.
Oh, because I thought you said I could like demonstrate something for you.
You can play your videos. You can search for your videos or videos on YouTube, and then if you have videos on YouTube that you put on your wall, those show up in that video section. So what you could do is if you
record, like you said, you recorded this, right?
I'm recording it right now through Camtasia off the desktop.
I see. Okay, you do. Okay, so there's no recording feature built into AirTime.
No. We're using Camtasia, a third-party thing to take and record this. But you know, if you wanted to play a video to have instruction with somebody and maybe walk them through the video, you can do that, especially if your video's on YouTube. So that's as far as it goes right now. Now it is still in beta, so I would imagine they're going to add some of these other features, especially if they want to compete with Google Hangouts.
Can you have more than two people at the same time? Can
No.
we have like a whole...
Just two.
No, okay.
One-on-one. Which gives it kind of a great personal flair. I like Google Hangouts, but Google Hangouts can get really weird. You can get some really weird people that show up in there, really create a mess of sometimes a nice little conversation you're having. And what I really like about AirTime is it's like a video phone. It's the closest thing to a video phone that I've ever really seen where I can actually leave a message. You can do that with Skype, but you have to get some third-party elements to do that. And it's very well integrated. So I'm pretty impressed with it so far. Any other questions, Seth?
Quality of it is great. You know, I think it looks really nice and clean. I can see all my Facebook friends on my right. It's very clear how to access and call one of them. I love that it's integrated right within Facebook. The other cool thing, by the way, when you first called me to do this call, and I first signed in, it looked like it had an option where I could click and have it just randomly find people who are, you know, I guess geographically in my area, could just talk to people. So if I'm bored or lonely, I could find somebody in my area and say, hey, do you want to go meet for coffee? You know?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Who I meet with something like that. But
yeah, so you can choose localized areas if you want to meet people in your city. It's awesome. I mean, I'm really impressed with the format of it so far. And at first, I came very skeptical with it being very chat roulette-ish. I'm like, oh god, another chat roulette. But I've been really amazed. So we'll wrap here. I think we're about 15 minutes in. So Seth, give me your website and your Twitter again so that we can check those out.
Sure. It's www.nerdenterprises.com. Twitter handle is @nerdenterprises.
Thanks for helping me put this video together today, Seth. Be sure to check out his website, thechrisvossshow.com often, and be sure to see me on AirTime.
Thanks, Chris. This is great.
Thanks, Seth. Take care.